So Apple is still expected to release two new products even though we're at the end of 2025, and they're going to be in the HomeKit enabled realm with the HomePod Mini 2, which hasn't seen an update in over 5 years, as well as the Apple TV 4K, which has looked the same pretty much since its inception. So in this video, we're going to talk about all the things we know about the HomePod Mini 2, as well as everything we need to know about the Apple TV 4K, when to expect it, what's being updated, and whether or not it's going to be worth the wait, because we did also see that November 12th, Apple's set to kind of change up their stores for either the holiday season or some brand new products, or both. Let's get into it. But now before we continue, if you do enjoy videos like this one where we keep you updated on all things Apple, definitely consider subscribing to the channel. But now, let's talk about that HomePod Mini 2 because it's in need of an update ASAP. Now, if you are a smart home person, especially if you are in the HomeKit enabled smart home, which is something that I definitely have, I have roughly 50 to 60 different kind of HomeKit enabled devices scattered around my house. And the main hub for those have to be the HomePod Mini that I have in my living room, as well as the latest Apple TV 4K that I have. Those are kind of like the central hubs that we have currently going on. So getting an upgrade to the HomePod Mini 2 especially, and the Apple TV 4K is going to be a welcome addition because it'll help support even more HomeKit enabled products. It'll work with Matter, it'll work with Thread, it'll have all the new connectivity options that Apple's been introducing in all their products. So that's why I think it's so important that Apple get this right and get it right for everybody moving forward. But with the HomePod Mini 2, we haven't seen an update to that thing since 2020 when it originally released. Yes, we got a few additional colors or a little bit of a revamp, but nothing changed internally as the years went on. But some big improvements are expected here. For example, the first thing is going to be the chip and the processor inside the HomePod Mini itself, because right now it has the same SiP as what's in the Apple Watch Series 5. So that is now a 5-year-old chip. So we should get an upgrade from the S5 chip up to the S9, maybe even the S10 chip, which should help with everything moving forward, from responsiveness to efficiency to better sound performance overall, and all the algorithms just working better because, again, Apple Watch Series 5 at this point, if you try to put one on right now, yes, it'll work, but you can see how slow it is compared to something like an Apple Watch Series 10 or Series 11. Now, this probably isn't going to be an Apple Intelligence type of upgrade. I think Apple's reserving that for this new HomePad they're trying to create, which, again, has been rumored now for a couple of years, and we will get it at the end of this year, possibly the beginning of next year. But the HomePod Mini will still get some drastic upgrades overall to performance, responsiveness, and overall just intelligent tasks moving forward. We should get some increased performance when it comes to Wi-Fi connectivity, like going from Wi-Fi 4, which is what it's currently on, to Wi-Fi 6E to give you much larger throughput throughout your entire home, especially if you use it as a HomeKit hub, which is how I currently use it. And then similar to the AirPods Pro 3 upgrade, everything will just be better sounding overall. So we will be getting better mid-range, better highs, better lows, better bass overall. And the HomePod Mini has always been an impressive speaker for me because of the size, the form factor, and the type of audio quality you get out of it. So being able to maybe give a 2 times better audio quality in a device that's 5 years old now at this point is something that I would definitely welcome, especially if it stays at the same price point, which remains yet to be seen. And then lastly, I wouldn't be surprised if Apple introduced some better ultra-wideband chips as well as a better Bluetooth connectivity for the HomePod Mini 2 because, again, it's a little bit outdated now at this point. Now with the N1 chip that we have in all the iPhone 17s as well as now the new iPad Pro, all that interconnectivity is just going to help build that Apple ecosystem and that walled garden even better. So having that same kind of high quality connectivity in terms of the system on a chip inside the HomePod Mini 2 will be great to kind of bring the whole ecosystem together. And now let's talk about the Apple TV 4K because that's something that a lot of people have, and it's one of those products that until you actually buy one, then you realize just how powerful and how amazing that device is. I have a whole video going over all the Apple TV ecosystem tips and tricks that you should definitely try out. I'll leave that link down below, but once you do get one, you can never go back. I have an Apple TV in pretty much all of my TVs around the house. And no, it is not the same as just getting a Fire Stick, and no, it's not the same as just having a smart TV operating system on your TV. But in terms of what to expect, again, everything internally is going to be upgraded to 2025 and 2026 specs. Right now we have the A15 Bionic, which in its own right is a powerful chip, especially if you are just using it as a smart TV, but we are now getting either the A17 Pro or the A18 Pro moving forward into the brand new Apple TV 4K. So that's going to give us a lot more from an Apple Intelligence standpoint, and the byproduct of that is going to be more RAM internally. Right now, the Apple TV 4K only has 4 gigs of RAM. Definitely be on the lookout for at least 8 gigs of RAM, if not more, for that Apple TV. And I think this is big because Apple is trying to make the Apple TV the smart home hub, your HomeKit hub, to be able to do everything, not just from a smart TV standpoint, but also be able to check on your HomeKit, view your cameras, view the doorbell, change the lights. But then on top of that, they wanted to be a gaming system, at least a passive one, right? Maybe it won't replace the Xboxes and the PlayStations. I mean, it might at some point because you can actually connect those controllers already. And there are some great AAA games in Apple Arcade and in the App Store. So improving it to 8 gigs of RAM and improving that throughput and efficiency is just going to make it a better device overall, making it the jack of all trades. But we've all heard the jack of all trades and the master of none. I think the Apple TV, the fact that it is a jack of all trades, makes it the master of kind of all the different operating systems that you can have on a smart TV, in my opinion. Apple should also introduce maybe the N1 chip in there to support things like Wi-Fi 7, as well as brand new Bluetooth 6.0, and some Thread capabilities. Of course, it's going to support Matter as well when you are connecting all your smart devices. So Apple's just trying to make the Apple TV the brain of your entire smart home. And then all that in correspondence with tvOS 26, so we brought that liquid glass design, a bunch of new updates like the new karaoke, and everything else that we spoke about in a previous video, which I'll link down below. Again, you don't need the new Apple TV to get tvOS 26, but I do recommend checking out the video to see all the new things that you can do with it, because Apple slowly but surely is giving us more and more optionality, making things not only more useful, but also more fun at the end of the day. So now the $1 million question is, should you be upgrading to these? Should you wait for these to come out before you purchase anything? If you're in the market for a HomePod mini right now, should you just go out and get one? I would actually hold off on the HomePod mini. Each one of these is two different tales and two different stories. The HomePod mini is in dire need of a refresh. For instance, mine, while albeit still works, it is relatively slow now. It's kind of slow to respond. I don't use it nearly as much as I used to, especially from a smart home activation standpoint. So a new HomePod mini for 2025 for me is going to be a must. But then when it comes to the Apple TV, it really depends on what you use it for, how you use it. Do you game on it? Do you really push it kind of to the edge when it comes to using that A15 Bionic? That might be one that I would maybe recommend holding off on. Like if you're in the market for an Apple TV, just go get an Apple TV because it's going to work extremely well across your entire operating system and your ecosystem. But if you already have the latest one, is it going to be a drastic change moving forward? Maybe not immediately, but over time, it will kind of start to show that the new Apple TV is going to be worth it, especially if you want to optimize your smart home setup at home. But that's everything that you need to know about both of these devices. I believe the HomePod mini should remain at that $100 price point, and then the Apple TV 4K should be anywhere between $130 to $170, depending on when it comes out and the different options that you get from internal storage. So that all remains yet to be seen, but leave a comment down below what you think. Are you an Apple TV 4K user? Are you an Apple TV user? Do you use HomePods? Do you have a HomePod mini, a regular HomePod? Or are you just holding out totally for that new HomePad, where it is a HomePod with an iPad kind of built into it that should be there to control your entire smart home? But that'll do it, everybody. If you made it to the end, leave a little dolphin in the comments down below so I know you made it to the end. And if you want to watch more videos like this one, definitely check out one of these videos right here. Until next time, I'm Fernando. Peace, everyone.